everyone. You know what? I kind of miss that whole not alcohol, crippling debt, and homelessness phase of my life. It's just kind of weird not having it, you know? And that's why I've decided to play another Sonic game, so I can hopefully bring back that rush. Well, this can only end well. Sonic the Hedgehog, or more commonly referred to as Sonic 06, was a soft reboot of the Sonic franchise released in, well, 2006. The game was intended to widen the appeal of the Sonic franchise to all gamers and show that Sonic was still a major franchise in gaming. You know, even though both the Sonic Adventure games and Sonic Heroes kind of already proved that. Anyway, the game released and flopped. Hard. Even though the game sold relatively well, it bombed when it came to reviews, receiving an average of 4 out of 10. But hey, why should we listen to the reviewers like their opinions matter, when we can play the game for ourselves and find out if it's any good? And there is no better place to start out than the stages the game has to offer. In total, the game offers 9 stages, which is quite a bit less from Sonic Adventure 2's 30 stages, Sonic Heroes 14, and it's still less than Sonic Adventure's 11. But hey, maybe less stages equals more quality. And to start off, we have Wave Ocean, and this is quite the interesting stage. Now, immediately, it gives off Emerald Coast and Seaside Hill vibes. However, it does bring some new ideas to the table that those stages don't have, such as the ability to ride a whale and to play as Sonic and Tails independently in the same stage, which is pretty cool. However, at the very end, there is this Endless Runner portion, which is pretty bad and really laggy. Dusty Desert is up next, and, well, guess we're already breaking out the bad stage list because this is a pretty bad stage. To start off, you're carrying a person throughout the stage, which is pretty irritating on its own, but then you add in the shield mechanic, which allows you to walk on sand without dying, and if you guessed from the name of the stage that there is a lot of sand, then congratulations, you get a pat on the back and a visit from the ghost of Fidel Castro, because there is a bunch of sand in this stage. So, inevitably, you're just holding down the shoulder button for 5 minutes so you don't instantly die. Next up is White Acropolis, and hey look, another bad stage. To begin, let's discuss the snowboarding on this stage. This is the most bland and boring snowboarding section in any video game I've ever played. It completely spits in the face of the greatness that was the snowboarding sections of Ice Cap and City Escape from the adventure games. Then, the second point I want to bring up on how bad this stage is just how bland it is. There is nothing for you to look at or do in this stage. All it has is snow. I mean, come on, Sega, we already have snow-covered wastelands in real life. It's called Minnesota. Anyway, next up on the list is Crisis City. And let's go, I finally found a good stage in this game. Crisis City is where I believe Sonic 06 pulls itself together long enough to show us how great this game could have been. It also has what I believe to be the only good appearance of the snowboarding and Endless Runner gameplay type. But what I believe really pulls the whole thing together is the post-apocalyptic city setting. Now, I do have to admit, I don't know if this is a genuinely good stage or if it's just good because of the game it's in. But what I can say with confidence is that this is definitely where Sonic 06 peaks. Next up on the list is Flamecore, and we're up to 3 pretty bad stages. Now, is the stage itself boring? No, not really. The volcano setting is pretty cool, but the ideas introduced in the stage are pretty bad. With Sonic 06 being, well, Sonic 06, the momentum is all kinds of screwed up. So, when you have these portions where you run on walls, you wind up falling to your death. And, since we're on the topic of momentum being screwed up, yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. However, something equally messed up as that is Radical Train. man, I hate this train bit. You have to make sure this train doesn't explode, but with how much the game doesn't like to cooperate with you, it makes it stupidly hard to accomplish. Because no matter what you do, the train winds up exploding and you fail the stage. Anyway, moving on from the infuriating to the stupid, we have Tropical Jungle. And just like Dusty Desert, you're carrying a character throughout the stage. So, all my grievances with that gameplay style transfer over. Other than that annoyance, we have these vines that you can swing from that barely work. However, a fun fact about this stage is you don't have to touch any buttons for the first 21 seconds of the stage. I don't really know how this fact benefits anyone, but it's a fact. Anyway, on to our 8th stage, being Kingdom Valley, and this one's pretty cool with all the castles and stuff. Though there are these parts where you have to ride the wind, which is pretty annoying. However, I did quite like this stage. And then we are finally at the 9th and final stage of the game, being Aquatic Base. And I actually didn't mind this stage. It's a pretty simple stage with a whole lot of enemies. Now, while playing through it, I thought, man, this feels familiar. And after thinking about it, this stage reminds me a lot of the space stages in Sonic Adventure 2. More so Eternal Engine and Crazy Gadget. Now, at least we don't have to deal with anti-gravity or the vacuum of space in this stage, but all I can think of now is that this stage would have been so much better if it was in any other Sonic game. And here we are, with me reflecting on why I just did this to myself. Now, overall, Sonic 06 didn't have that many good stages. Really, the only one I can say that I genuinely enjoyed was Crisis City. However, as I mentioned when discussing that stage, I may just like it because of the game it finds itself in. So instead of stating what my favorite stage is, I've decided to state what my least favorite stage was, because we all know this game has an abundance of pretty bad stages. So what is it, you might be asking? Well, it's none other than White Acropolis. I'm sorry to all the White Acropolis fans out there, but your opinion's just flat out wrong. Now, moving on over to the story, this thing is maybe the most crazy Sonic story out there. Which is pretty weird to say when fighting a massive space lizard is part of the story of Sonic Adventure 2. Anyway, the game starts off with this massive festival where we meet the Princess Elise, who gets kidnapped by Eggman, who... Man, I think his mustache got longer. Anyway, Sonic shows up and tries to save the princess, but then we're introduced to a new hedgehog called Silver, who tries to kill Sonic. Anyway, during this fight, Elise gets kidnapped again, so Sonic gets to go save her again. But oh no, Eggman teleports Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, who just showed up out of nowhere, into a post-apocalyptic future. While here, Shadow and Rouge show up, and with their help, Sonic gets back to the present. After that, Sonic saves Elise again, but oh wait, Silver shows up again, so Elise gets kidnapped for a third time. However, instead of fighting Silver again, Shadow shows up to teach the little maggot a lesson. Anyway, after this, we rescue Elise, but oh wait, plot twist, Elise lets herself get captured for a fourth time! I've lost all faith in their writing team. Anyway, Elise freaking dies, and sadly Sonic goes back in time to save Elise, and after that, Elise is saved, and they all live happily ever after. Oh, except for the fact that Sonic literally dies. So after saving Elise, it is revealed that the main bad guy was what I think is a hedgehog called Mephiles, who wants to find a creature named Iblis, who he can combine his power with and become a literal god named Solaris, who can destroy the entire concept of time. Anyway, killing Sonic releases Iblis, and everyone including Eggman joins forces to resurrect Sonic so that him, Shadow, and Silver can fight Solaris. Anyway, they do that and they obviously win, and then the end. Anyway, now that we're past the main story of Sonic 06, what is there to talk about? Well, if you want to, you can replay the story as either Silver or Shadow, which, I mean, is pretty cool. Especially because one of the highlights of the story is Shadow. But in all reality, I really don't want to replay through all those horrible stages again. I'm sorry. However, if you are with a bunch of buddies and for some unknown reason you all feel like playing Sonic 06, I would get your mental health checked. But after that, then you can check out the multiplayer, which is essentially the same as Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes. Though, moving on, I need to talk about some of the issues this game has. Now, many issues stem from the game being held together by rubber bands and paper clips because this game runs like absolute garbage. Now, maybe this has a little bit to do with me playing on the PlayStation 3 version because I hear that the game runs way better on Xbox 360. Though, all around, the game just doesn't run well, with stuttering and glitches plentiful in all versions. Another issue I have with this game is just how cryptic and downright stupid it can get at some points. For instance, to progress from Wave Ocean to Dusty Desert, you must slide under this one wall. Now, unlike Sonic Adventure 2, you don't automatically get the ability to slide, but the game never really tells you how to get the ability. So you have to spend 20 minutes trying to slide under this wall until you get mad and look it up on Google, just to find out that you have to go buy the ability from a shop in the hub world. However, on a little less aggravating note, let's talk about the game's legacy. Now to begin, this game's legacy is in the gutter, mostly due to how broken the game is. Among many groups of gamers, Sonic 06 is labeled as the worst Sonic game, if not one of the worst games of all time, and honestly, I kinda have to agree with that sentiment. And due to this legacy, Sonic 06 has stayed stranded on the PS3 and Xbox 360. And it's not only the game that was stranded, most of the new characters have been ditched as well. The only new character from this game who has made appearances outside of Sonic 06 is Silver, who has made it in the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, which, I mean, is something. Not a lot, but it's something. The only other piece of Sonic 06 that has made it outside of the game is the main theme that made it into the Smash Bros. Series. However, sadly, a byproduct of this game being as bad as it was is that the gaming community at large has completely written off the Sonic franchise. This has also led to the Sonic franchise being in a sort of dark age where gamers don't really care about the games, and the games themselves have taken a nosedive in quality due to disinterest. With some notable exceptions. And you know, it sucks that this game is as bad as it is just because it completely overshadows the greatness that was the adventure games and Heroes. However, one positive I do have to say about this game is that there is no appearances of Big the Cat. So, I guess that's something the adventure games and Heroes cannot say. However, that does not excuse the tremendous faults this game has, so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go part with this game inhumanely.